Hello, my topic is pets shouldn't be dressed. The specific purpose for today is to persuade that the use of clothing for pets/animals shouldn't be allowed. Have you ever encountered an animal that is dressed better than you? From personal experience, I can tell you that my dog hates being dressed. It itches her, she constantly whimpers, and she just overall hates it. So I did some studying and I've come to find that the dressing of animals or pets causes many problems and therefore shouldn't be allowed. I am credible to speak on this topic, as for I too have faced personal experiences with my pets and have done further research on this topic. Animals who are clothed experience harm, lack communication skills, and face a rise in body temperature. Learning from my dog, I've come to find that by clothing pets, they are placed under high risk. Clothing on animals can be very harmful. The rubbing of clothes against an animal's skin can irritate its body due to friction. Dr. Andrew Francis, Chief Operations Officer of at Paw Squad, had confirmed that putting your dogs in clothing can cause skin damage, as the added materials can irritate a dog's skin. 78% of owners like to dress their pets. Now, imagine how many of these pets suffer from irritation. There could also be a chance that they are allergic to certain clothes and or your choice of laundry detergent. Another harmful factor of clothing is that some clothes possess certain choking hazards. If such materials or things were swallowed, then they would have be faced with a linear foreign body. This is when a foreign object that isn't food is consumed by an animal. Such a condition requires emergency surgery to remove, or it can saw a hole in the intestines. An animal should never be put in a situation where such an accident can easily take place. Not only does clothing animals pose risk of irritation and choking hazards, but they prevent them from communicating. Clothes inhibit communications between two animals, as for it covers a majority of an animal's body. This can lead to hidden body language, causing an interference between animal communication, which can be as simple as a tail wag. When an animal is unavailable to understand why he isn't understood, they lose the ability to effectively communicate. They then won't understand that they aren't being understood, since it is the human that interferes with their communication. This can later affect their health. Clothes affects the way animals communicate and can thus lead to a downfall in their mental state. But clothes can also affect their physical state, and one example is heat exhaustion. Clothes cause a rise in body temperature, and a dog's average body temperature is 101.5 degrees Fahrenheit, with a normal range between 100 and 102. Scientifically, panting keeps animals cool, and wearing clothes can cause excessive panting. When air temperatures are close to a dog's body temperature, cooling by panting is not an efficient process. A problem occurs when adding an additional layer of clothing over the fur. Panting for cooling is no longer effective, and their body temperature rises, causing overheating. It's also hard to tell when an animal is overheating, since signs of distress in an animal will vary between species. Heat exhaustion is caused by a rise in body temperature when it's over 106 degrees Fahrenheit. Some dogs are at higher risk of developing heat stroke because some don't breathe as efficiently as long-nosed dogs. So when applying extra clothes over animals, each species will have a different response. Therefore, it's best to sway from clothing animals in general. Some people may say that certain dogs get chilly and actually need the added warmth of extra clothes, especially if you live in a place with harsh weather. And in this case, these clothes are important. So yes, I agree that some dogs do need additional clothing, but they're still at risk of losing communication skills and still facing certain harms like choking hazards and skin irritation. With the rise in temperature due to clothing along with other hazardous factors, this goes to prove that clothes don't belong on animals. The use of clothing on animals possesses many risks upon them. They may be experiencing harm from certain choking hazards, and they may form certain irritations, or they may be withheld from properly communicating because clothing acts like a barrier. Their body temperature also can't maintain a stable state if such additional factors like clothing were added onto their fur. After trying to place my dog in clothes, I've learned that I'm doing more harm than good and decided to do some more research after she experienced some major stress and irritation. I then stopped dressing my dog. And if you want to protect your pet and even other animals of different species, do not dress them in clothes.